Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 3 of the Guitar Souls podcast. Some of you may be watching us on YouTube, others may be listening to us on all of your podcasting apps. We are on quite a few of them now. I've got us submitted to Spotify as well, so hopefully that will be live soon. Fingers crossed.
Boy.
This is it's actually been 2 weeks since we recorded. We were all snowed in.
Yes, the weather was shit here.
The beast from the east.
I mean, you're gonna have to try and speak even clearer English than that, my friend.
Aye. The beast
from the east.
It was snowing.
Yeah, snow was pretty bad. But it meant that I got to put a bit of time into getting that Guitar Souls theme worked on and recorded. So you will have heard that at the start of the episode. That's the full version. In future episodes, I've got a version that's half the length of that. And hopefully that will become the anthem of our generation. I'm not counting on it, but
we'll see what happens.
Still hoping for it.
That's it.
So yeah, and I thought this was a great opportunity to do an episode on the subject of kind of home recording and editing techniques, and also to introduce a friend of the show, Kmac2021, brother of Mike.
Hello there.
Who took care of the drums on the track.
Oh, hey, what up? It's that boy.
Hello there.
How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Good, thank you.
The king of the memes.
As I'm here.
Could you just stare deep into the camera, please, and give me a dead face?
Do you know I went to the cinema once and the guy that was serving me said, "Can you do the face?" I thought to myself, could I get in for free if I do this? But I just done it anyway.
That's actually quite an interesting subject that we could really talk about then, I guess. So for those unfamiliar with Kieran and what Kieran doesn't really do anything in life, apparently, and then one day made a video that just went super mega viral and thought maybe, this will be a one-hit wonder. But then every video that he's made since has gone super mega viral because he's really funny. So if you haven't seen any of his videos, here's a clip of one you can see on screen if you are watching. But yeah, Kieran makes silly videos and they all went super mega viral, as I say. And you've got some sort of weird fame around it now. It's like next level, isn't it?
It's still very strange. But like you said, I made a video once and I think my friends posted it on Reddit, and then I went to work and they messaged me and it was like, it's like blowing up right now, and it just kept going and going, and we thought, right, it's about to reach its half-life, and then it just kept going and going and going. It was crazy.
I was in America and a friend of mine showed me the video like, "Hey, look at this is real funny." I was like, that's my fucking brother. That is my old bedroom. What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah, you're over in the States trying to like make it, be a professional touring musician, make a career for yourself, and then accidentally your brother becomes an internet megastar.
That was it.
He deserves it though. I'm proud.
Although with the first video, I thought it was going to be a one-off, but then it just kept going. I was like, maybe I'll make another one, and the second one was more popular. Yeah, and that was it. So I was like, I guess I have to do this now.
Yeah, this is the life now. You live for the memes.
My calling.
Yeah. So on the subject of sort of mega fame, tell us some then bizarre stories, or not bizarre stories, but meeting people, but like getting recognised. What is that experience to you? It's only happened to me like once in my life. So
it's very strange. I think the first time I got recognised was at Sigur Rós when they were playing in Glasgow. But the guy never said, "Oh, I've saw your videos." He just came up and went, "Is it weird when people recognise you?" And he was the first. So at first I was like, do I know you? But then it clicked, and I was like, well, no, it's never happened before. This is it. And he's like, I'm sure it'll happen again. And then he left, and then nobody else recognised me for that night. But going to clubs and stuff now is like, it happens all the time, like all the time.
Never have to pay for your drinks.
Oh, I still need to pay for my drink. I've had one drink paid for me, and it was good.
Well, fucking sort it out, people. Like, he's a fucking YouTube megastar. Like, what you playing at?
Hook him up.
Free drinks in exchange for memes.
So why don't we, the whole point of bringing you on this was kind of to pull back the mask. You're not even wearing the mask, sadly. But
don't know where to put it.
Expose you for who you really are, the terrible human that, no, you're not. So I always make the joke in the Guitar Souls videos in the past with Mike that he's the untalented older brother.
Joke. As always.
Joke.
But yeah, so Kieran is an extremely talented musician. Both of these two are. It's quite depressing, really. They've just got kind of that natural knack for music, you motherfuckers.
You say that like you're not very good yourself, Levi. Behave yourself.
I've had to work and study really hard to become passable. You guys
I had to work really hard. I didn't study. I was shit at theory. Kieran, however, went, I quite fancy the drums, and then was just playing the drums, and then went, I quite like guitar, playing guitar. I quite fancy singing, remembers every lyric he's ever heard. I quite like melodies. Writes the best melodies.
Yeah. So, what's your history in terms of music then, Kieran?
Well, I just started playing drums and stuff in school. Obviously, when you have music in first year, I had to pick an instrument, but I think I changed every instrument once every 2 weeks because I wanted to try everything. But from school, I was a drummer up to about 5th year, 6th year, and I just kind of got bored with it. And I saw Mike playing guitar in the house quite a lot. So when he wasn't in, I'd steal a shot, as I would do, and I'd do it all the time until I just started realising I'm kind of getting all right at this.
I'm better
Just
than my
kept going
brother.
from that. Nah, that wasn't it. That was. I think Mike actually sat and tried to learn songs, whereas I just picked up and farted about, and I don't actually think I know any songs all the way through because I have no patience for it. I just sit and play it and fart about.
The patience for 30-second meme videos.
Well, that's part of the charm.
It's worked.
That's part of the charm. That's it.
Bells, man.
Yeah, it's paid off.
That's
Can't
it.
argue.
But you've been recording music for a real long time, right?
Right,
You have
quite a while now.
an astonishing back catalogue of music.
I do.
I own all of it. I bought all of it.
Oh,
No, sorry, not all. I guess that's not all of it. Electrical Bakery isn't
That's
everything
the
you've
electrical
done.
bakery part. Yeah.
So yeah, what have you recorded? What's your?
So I think the first thing I ever started recording was a grindcore band called the Enrique Palazzo Funtime Reality Band. As mental as that sounds, I'm pretty sure it's still sitting on MySpace, but because MySpace music is so bugged,
Yeah.
you just can't play it.
Aye.
But it was when we had a guitar amp in the room and a drum kit, so obviously the neighbours loved us. And I would get like a desktop mic and I would use Audacity, record myself beating the shit out of the drums, then record myself beating the shit out of the guitar, grab the mic and just scream as loud as I could. And that was how I started realising that recording is very fun.
You enjoy it?
And from then on, I can't remember what came next. I think I had a drum and bass thing that I'd done for a while because I started listening to Aphex Twin.
Twitch.
Aye, that was it. Some of the dubstep stuff is on my YouTube,
That's right.
but all the drum and bass stuff.
Telephone isn't anymore, which upsets me.
But it was hellish. It
That
was me
wasn't.
trying everything.
It was so
It
good.
was so low quality dubstep. That
So
was
what?
it.
So it's
just-
Borgor, and Borgor's the dad.
That's true. But for everything I was listening to at the time, that's where I started getting influenced for it. So I don't know what I was listening to when I made Enrique Palazzo Funtime Reality Band right enough.
Cyprus.
I was Cyprus. Aye.
So yeah, it is a pretty extensive back catalogue that people can dig into. More music than I'll probably ever release in my life.
It's not online anymore.
Well, Electrical Bakery is not online anymore.
Did you not know this?
I yes, it was mentioned. I know why. Yeah,
Rest in peace.
yeah. But
was good,
you've
but-
still got your SoundCloud
The
and
best.
Aye, that's still there.
My respects.
SoundCloud's there. The SoundCloud is still like a mix of serious stuff, and then the rest of it's testing new VSTs and stuff like that.
having fun.
Aye, pretty much.
Fair enough. You also did. I forget the name of it. You had an actual band. Like Mike introduced me to your music.
Dissension.
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 Aye.
What's the story there?
It was just me and my friends in high school. They already had, they had the home recording thing set up already, and they were always recording riffs and whatnot. And they started slowly but surely becoming a full band, but they didn't have a vocalist. So then I don't even remember how I got in the band. It just happened, and we were together for quite a while.
Yeah,
2 or 3 years or something like that. Done a lot of gigs. Won a battle of the bands as well. And-
Supported Hacktivist. That was
Oh,
pretty
did
good.
I?
That was a really good
but
gig.
that was like we'd split up, and then we heard they were looking for support, and we were like, "We'll do it." So that was good. But those days are long gone, sadly.
I've still got my Frankenstein t-shirt.
We had merch, very short-lived merch, but
Aye.
it was good.
That was a cool design.
Aye, that was Dom. Big up Dom.
Who knows? Maybe you'll go back to making and recording real music again soon.
Aye, I'd
Yeah.
like to think so. At this point, like when I used to make stuff like all that Enrique Palazzo stuff, that was just for me. I didn't have an audience, but
Yeah.
now there is an audience for the music, so it's probably going to encourage me to start stuff like that.
Yeah, to me that's a really bizarre thing about modern music and marketing yourself. The hardest thing in music is getting people to listen to your stuff.
Oh, aye.
So much.
Absolutely.
And you've got that now. You've got anything you
yeah,
put
yeah.
out, people will listen to it. So that's
It's true. Regardless of what it is, it could be something silly or it could be a full song. People are listening to it. So
so
Well, we were talking about this earlier, the idea of exposure being that even if you get a single listen and the person doesn't like it, you still at least got one more person to try it.
very true.
that's very difficult to do. Get people to listen to your music. I gave up on it. I bought an album out, as you know, and
Go buy it.
no, don't
Buy it.
I'm working on new stuff. Did I say that out loud? Whoops.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But so the album dropped, and I immediately found it on pirate sites, as you'd expect. And I sent out like a couple of copies to friends who had little blogs that did music reviews. And then I was like, right, next week, what I really need to sit down and do is I need to reach into all of my press contacts, and I need to send copies of this album out to all my friends that work at magazines and things. And I need to hit up as many blogs as humanly possible, and then just get as many people to listen to this as possible. And the next week came, and I just went, can't really be bothered. I'll do it next week. And 2 years have gone by now. In my mind, that's kind of an album that I still need to promote. But yeah, it's just that battle of getting people to listen to music.
It still is a pain though. It's even the thought of trying to get people to listen to it when you know the majority of them might not even be interested. It can be rather like demotivating when it comes to doing stuff like that.
You need to have at least a small captive audience to kickstart it. There needs to be a couple of people that are the catalyst for it, I think.
Which is a metaphor for the Guitar Souls, because if you're listening to this, what you could really do to help us out would be to share it with some people.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we tried to post it on Reddit, right? And
I barely pressed post and I got, you are banned, smash!
Self-promotion? No.
yeah,
It's like
That's Reddit for you.
the mods backhanded me straight back to fucking sin bin. Thank you, guys.
that self-promotion thing, I do get it like that. I don't like self-promo. I know I do a hell of a lot of it, but it's because other people aren't doing it for me, you know.
You need to do it.
But when I look at people that I admire as musicians, they don't need to go into 20 groups on Facebook and post a link to check out this new video I've done, because everyone's doing it for them. So getting that transition into that viral sensation of other people sharing your stuff is something that I don't know. Well, you don't know how you did it either. It just sort of happened. And
no idea how I did it, but it's still quite funny to be scrolling down Facebook and see my face from like some random page. And then I'll comment on it and they're like, oh, it's the guy from the video. That's always fun.
I remember calling out Kerrang for reposting your video and not crediting you. All of a sudden, Kmac credits.
But it was like exactly what you wrote was copy and pasted in the original post. So they just took every word and went, okay, I'm just done it.
If I could drill a bit further into that, like, how do you feel about stuff like that when people take your content and re-upload it?
I don't really mind. I feel like the majority of the time it happens, my name is there somewhere, or my page is. But I've found a couple of uploads on YouTube where it has just been monetized, and I'm like, it's kind of scummy, but at the same time, it's a meme. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a meme video. It's not like a.
It's meant to be public.
Aye, it's meant to be a joke for everybody to enjoy. It's not like something I've not worked incredibly hard on and spent forever to then send it out and try to sell it to people.
It's in the right domain.
Aye,
It should be.
it's in the right thing. Aye. Memes are public domain. That's it.
But if someone else is monetizing it,
Aye, then it's kind of just a little bit.
I mean, when
I wouldn't
Kerrang
message
share
and
it,
be like, take this down. It's just kind of like it's a bit shady.
I looked at Kerrang sharing it and things like that, and I'm like, well, come on, look, you guys, you're not sharing this because you want to share the joke,
Oh, aye,
or else
absolutely.
you'd share the YouTube link. You're sharing this on your own page because you want to share your page.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, and all they've done is basically copy over the top of the title of the video into text boxes,
Aye,
so that nothing gets flagged if it's got like an automatic DCMA strike or takedown.
I don't really
system.
get those videos like where like they cut the video down, they have a big this is what it's like, blah blah blah. Like I'd never understood that, but I would
It's
never.
because they get away with not just basically re-uploading it. They've put some
suppose
sort of
they've
touch to it,
changed
so
that
they
a
can
little
say,
bit.
well, actually, we edited
It's
the video.
Constructive in a way.
It's strange
Bullshit.
though. I don't know. Like, I should press this matter with some of the lawyers that I follow on YouTube and see what they think. But that's a strange one to me, because there's clear evidence that they have downloaded your video in order to edit it,
Oh, aye.
and that they're a big company that has clearly downloaded your video, which they're not legally allowed to do.
You
So
wouldn't download a car.
I've tried.
You wouldn't download a baby.
You would steal a baby.
Oh.
The IT crowd joke.
Ah, you would.
I guess worse.
Was it IT Crate? I've never even seen it. I just know that joke because it was on a meme. There you go.
That's really good.
So why don't we talk about music, home recording, and things like that? So yeah, when it came to working on the Guitar Souls theme, I don't do great drums at all. I rely on my Tune Track stuff, or Lee Costanza. Yeah, great place to start, and we'll talk about that on the home recording side of things. But when it came to putting drums down, I had two options. I could hit up my old drummer Lee Costanza.
Fair Very good
who
drummer.
is a great, incredible drummer. Also very busy with having like 2 kids and a wife and a life. So I thought, let's ask Kieran, see what Kieran thinks.
Well, he's busy with his internet money.
I'm busy with my memes. Ain't got time for this.
Nobody got time for that.
So what's the process for you on something like that then?
Well, when it comes to just programming stuff.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of experience with. I mean, we're going to play one of your tracks shortly, but a lot of experience with the music technology side of things.
Well, usually when it comes to like home recording or just programming stuff in general, I'll go drums first if it's metal because I'm originally a drummer, so it's just something I'll always start with, and then from there on I'll just play around and maybe change some things every so often if I want like the bass drum to hit the same time as the notes and whatnot.
Would anyone like to hear the first take that Kieran sent me of the Guitar Souls theme? The thing that broke my heart the most about this is he sent me this on Facebook and said, right, it's done. And I was like, awesome, I'll check it out in a minute. And I listened to this and my first reaction was, why did you not tell me to film my first reaction of this? Because my face was an absolute picture. So let me hit play on this. So yeah, this was...
this is where the view count will drop. This is where the attention is gone at this point.
I mean, yeah, this is 32 seconds of weapons grade autism.
Unadulterated joy.
Okay, so yeah, Kieran sent me this and...
Wait for it.
Thanks, meme master.
Oh, there we are. The new Guitar Souls theme brought to you by Kmac.
Well, yeah, essentially we could have a vote on which one people prefer, but I would be terrified to do that
Because you know the answer.
I know what would happen.
Every episode.
We
So-
could release it like The Wire. You know, every season they've got like a different version of the theme song.
Aye.
It's still the same song, the theme song. Just have you like just the synth part for first of the episode, and then like the actual theme for the second, and then your crazy drums and sound effects over the top of the third, and then merge it for one.
Dear.
Let's never do that.
Let's never do
Let's
that.
never do that. Sorry, Levi.
No, it's cool. On the subject of like that home recording type thing and editing and program stuff. So you've experimented a lot with programmed guitars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's kind of weird. I was getting bored with like playing guitar for a bit because the amp I was using wasn't producing the sound that I wanted, and I just wasn't that good at finding tones and stuff. So I thought I'm just gonna start programming silly stuff because, like we just heard there, I enjoy programming silly stuff. So I found a company called Ample Sound, and they do a guitar emulator, acoustic, bass. So I just downloaded all of them because they're all free and played around them for a while. And there's like something freeing about it because any limit you've got to your talent on guitar is gone because you can just piano roll whatever you want. So for then I just started going, right, how much can I over exaggerate the playing on this? So
Aye.
as you've heard
The
of,
thing is, some of your writing's fantastic. Some of the music is fantastic in its own right.
see, I think I'm good at writing melodies, but if it came to playing it, I'd be gone.
You just have to sit and practice it. That's the difference.
suppose, aye.
But a topic we're no doubt going to be speaking about very soon.
Oh,
is
let's do it now.
how you market yourself in terms of whether you write music and you program music or whether you play it, and blurring the lines between what you actually play and what the sound is where the questions come in, I think. In my part,
Totally.
I'm constantly arguing with people on fucking YouTube and Facebook for no reason other than I'm just like, I disagree.
I disagree. That's true.
That's my shtick.
I like, but at least you've got eloquent arguments. I just go in and be like, no, you're an arsehole.
Aye.
Sorry.
You're
deal
not
with
even
it."
playing that.
Pretty much. I wrote a fucking haiku about Al Moomin.
So you did. I can't even remember it now, but I just remember how nonsense it was.
So there's the name. There's the one that. There's the name that we've been looking forward to talking about. When we were talking about potential subjects that might be worth talking about when Kieran comes over. Kieran actually suggested, because it had just gone kind of semi-viral that week, the new HAARP machine video dropped. And I know you're actually quite a big fan of the HAARP machine.
Yeah. Absolutely. They only brought out one album, but I've rinsed it so many times. I really enjoy it.
What do you think of Al Moomin's last video, though?
I watched it, and when it started, I was like, okay, he's been gone for a while. Obviously, he's had a lot of controversy with if he's actually playing or not. So I was like, okay, maybe he's been practicing. He's got something that's going to come out. It's not going to be completely programmed. And it was completely programmed. Everyone, just from the minute I heard it, I was like, this is all punched up and touched with piano roll and whatever. But I still listened to it, and from a composition standpoint, I enjoyed it. But watching him pretend he's playing it flawlessly is just, it's off-putting.
That's the thing, like, you can see that he can play the riffs, but there is no way on this planet any human can play those riffs that clean without major editing and major effects in the background as well. I mean, like, if you could imagine his, not to pick on him, but some other musicians like that just, they go for that ultra super tight sound to the point where it just ruins the point of having a guitar in the mix. But like, it pretty much is like a noise gate between every single channel, everything that's happened, like a noise gate between the head and the cab, even maybe. Interface noise gate.
Everything's just so chopped up and quantized.
So I wouldn't want to get you to commit to like an opinion on this, but what's your gut feeling on something like that then? Because obviously I listened to it and I honestly couldn't tell whether it was a guitar part that had been played and then heavily edited, or if it wasn't even a guitar part. Like, it, to me, it could have been Guitar Pro MIDI. It could have been any sort of programmed guitar part like you were talking about previously.
Well, I feel like the way the notes actually sound, there's quite a poppy sound to them, and it doesn't sound like anything a plectrum would produce. Like, one example would be Lucas Mann from Rings of Saturn, death metal band. Like, I, again, really enjoyed some of their albums, but there's parts in it where it just sounds like a synth is playing. But again, Lucas Mann passes himself off as playing it all and refuses to argue with anybody online about it.
You don't. One thing I've learned about arguing is don't enter into an argument that you're going to lose.
Aye, that's true.
Yeah. So I'm certainly undecided on how he achieved that goal, the end result. And I agree with you though. Ultimately, musically, I mean, it's not to my taste. It's not really my cup of tea. But I didn't listen to it and go, "This is horrible." It was a functioning piece of music, and I went, fair enough. But I do obviously take huge issue with the watching of a video and someone sat there showing, like, here's me playing the guitar. It's like, you're not playing the guitar.
You're not playing it. No.
You like, why has this been done? Why are you doing this? Do you, like, is it an ego thing? Do you want people to think that you're that good?
Yes.
Because we're going to play one of your tracks soon, and you'll hold your hands up and be like, "There's not a single analog instrument on this."
No,
because it doesn't need to be, in my opinion. I think it's pretty cool to be able to hold your hands up and say, "I can't play this, but this is the vision that I have in my mind."
Yeah.
I no shame in that. I'm on the instrumental recording of my album. I had Cameron Allen come and play some 8-finger tapping stuff because that was in my mind what I could envision over that particular section. But there was no way I was going to be able to do that. So, but Cameron can. So,
see, that's like, it's fine to do that. But if you had to then make a YouTube video of you pretending you are playing that part, then it's like, I don't know. I don't even know. It's just such a weird thing to do.
Aye.
For somebody to be so egotistical, they need to be like, I am playing this all the way through.
And for the record, the reason that Al Moomin is the biggest option is because there's so much controversy through his full career, whether he actually plays the songs or not.
Yep.
That I just have to say that so that you can see it's quite an objective point rather than us just saying we don't like Al Moomin. Even some of his earlier videos where it was him with snapshots, him basically in the dark, and I think in his room playing this Strandberg guitar, and like you hear the notes, and it is literally just the RSE from Guitar Pro. Like, that's it. It is just a synthesized guitar, and to start with, you're like, that's a weird guitar tone. All right, okay, maybe he's just got a weird patch on his model or whatever. But then you hear it and you go, no, there's not a guitar on that. It's not. And the only way that could possibly be played that clean to match the audio and video of what he's playing and what's actually coming out is if he's got a MIDI pickup in his guitar, which I don't think he does. And I think trying to set something like that would be a fucking nightmare. So it tracks and plays through the RSE. Which is doable. I think it's, I don't know what Roy Marchbank or Marchment does.
Yes.
Or Doan.
Keep talking.
Not Theodore Zeras.
See, in that specific Strandberg video, I'm sure it's him showcasing the guitar he's just got.
Aye.
But I do feel when I hear that the tracks, it's not him playing live on the guitar while it's being filmed. I feel like it's the exact studio stems from that album because it sounds exactly alike in every way. And then there's a part where quite a fast tremolo picking point, which is obviously it's achievable, but the camera just totally hides away and films something completely different when he plays that part and goes straight back to him. So it's certain cuts like that make you quite skeptical about if he's actually playing it or not.
And if you have any experience in playing guitar, you know what it sounds like when a guitar does something. You start tremolo picking and you go from having a lot of variance in your attack to basically having the same sound. And if you're a really heavy picker, you're used to just being really sharp on the dot. Or if you're somebody that's like maybe like a shrapnel shredder or whatever, they usually take it back a bit and everything's as linear as you can get it in terms of volume. So there's nothing that's too bursting. But that's just like, there's no natural attack, there's no natural decay. It's like someone's just pressing a synth and then setting like, I want it to strobe. 180 like that. It just doesn't sound real.
Yeah.
And it can't be just compressors and studio editing and noise gates. It just can't be, because even those affecting it wouldn't make it sound like that.
It's something I've talked about in the past a fair amount of times, because you got guys like you mentioned Al Newman and you say we're not particularly picking on Al Newman. Al Newman's never really been on my radar.
No.
Not being a huge metal guy, but seeing videos of like Theodore Zeras back in the day and Lucas Mann, of course. I'm going to play a little Theodore Zeras clip now. It'll be the effect will kind of be lost on the audio. But Theodore Zeras is an interesting case because he's the only guitar player I've ever seen who has got worse as a player over time, and it seems to have a direct correlation with the quality improvement in his cameras. And he's recording.
I know what you mean, yeah.
The better his videos and cameras get, that suddenly he can't sweep very well. Because when you go back to like this 10-year-old video.
Hello, this is Theodore Zeras, and welcome to my sweep picking.
Pretending he's Jason Becker and not doing very well.
It's not legit, is it? I don't get it. In this case, you understand the reason. He talks about from my sweep picking DVD. Buy my shit.
Buy my shit.
Why would you buy a DVD that was that quality? It's like remember when we used to plug the iToy into the computer and use it as a webcam? That's exactly what this looks like.
I hacked an iToy when we were younger.
To be fair, this is like 2007, but yeah, even for
fair
2007, it's not great quality. But
no, it's fucking shocking, and there's a good reason for it.
Lucas Mann, and I've picked out even what's her face, that bird the plays the Vigier, Tina S.
I know exactly what you're on about.
You're picking out examples in Tina S's videos where I'm like, that's a synth. That particular note that's been patched in, and it's not even a guitar that's been patched in there. Like, how can no one see this?
The fact about a Midian.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does drive me crazy, but yeah.
I think anyone who's spent any time trying to learn an instrument, become proficient, gets pissed off by it when it's marketed as genuine playing. For the reason that it undermines the fact that you've practiced and like put your research in and like did your time to try and get as good as you are. To have somebody go, "Oh, look what I can do," and then quite blatantly not do it. Like, why?
And they get all like the praise basically.
You're like lying to yourself, but you're deceiving people who don't know better. And maybe you'll get a wee 5 minutes of fame, but what do you gain from that?
Well, I like being the contrarian, so let's be a contrarian on this. So you have the guys that fake it.
Levi.
Yeah, you have the guys that fake it, but you have the guys that are 15 years younger than them that don't know that they faked it.
Yeah, that's the ones I feel sorry for.
I mean, initially, some of them I feel sorry for, but then you look at them and what they go on to achieve on the guitar, and they do it based on listening to their heroes and not knowing that what their heroes are doing isn't legitimate.
I see.
So they work out ways to do it legitimately.
I suppose the best
pushes the
example of
boundaries.
that is Buckethead and Sean Lane. You ever heard this story?
Yes.
With
The Kaiser Nankaro, yeah.
Whatever it was, and then Buckethead deciding to learn how to 8-finger tap what fucking Sean Lane recorded over 4 tracks.
Yeah.
And Sean going, the fuck did you just do? Oh, you showed me it.
It's just Buckethead, man.
If you can do it, I can do it. Buckhead, I can't do it. Okay, I can.
It just, you know, I've been vocal about the fact that I'm not a particular fan of guys like Jason Richardson, not because he's legit, like he's a legit great player.
I used to really think, nah, he's at it. There's no way anyone can be that clean. And then you see videos on playing, and you just go, what the fuck? Does this guy eat steroids for breakfast? Honestly, man.
Yeah, no, he's legit, like, talented on the instrument, and I have to give him his dues on that. It's just, again, musically not really my cup of tea. But I can only imagine the impact that is going to have on the next generation of guitar players.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to become a next level of virtuoso, either through innovation or just practice.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that takes it just that bit further.
So in 5 years, are we going to have a legit Al Moomin playing stuff like that is legit? Because I've reached that stage in my playing life now where, like, I am, as Paul Gilbert used to say, like the old man on his porch shouting, "Get out of my yard" at the kids. Like, I always say shit like, what is this music that the kids listen to today? Because I'm about to hit 30. Like, it's not that old in the grand scheme of things, but I feel really old when I listen to the music that young kids are listening to today, because I don't get it. I feel exactly, I know how they feel. It's when my parents used to say, what is this nonsense you're listening to?
I've said that when you let me your party cannon as well, did they not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dad, you're responsible for this. Yeah. I am not responsible for that in any way.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty lucky in that respect, because growing up I did get the "what is this music that you listen to" nonsense from my parents, and I used to be able to turn around and go, "Shut up, Dad, you played in Extreme Noise Terror. Talk to me about shit." Sorry, Dad.
Jerry.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really interested to see where it goes and what influence it has. Mm-hmm. In fact, there are tutorials out there now on guitar editing, like how to edit your guitars and chop things up.
Nail the Mix.
Yeah,
the biggest one at the moment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on in the recording thing, because I'm a member over there now. But it's an interesting thing to me to see someone like Joey Sturgis, like, under the reasons to edit guitar as heavily as you can. There are legitimate reasons, like to be able to remove dodgy harmonics and shit that you know, all fair reasons to play. But one of the pros, he says, is you can also create performances that are impossible to play. And I get it. Like, I see how that is a pro, because musically you can create whatever idea you want.
Charles Caswell / Buried Alive, my perfect example for that.
So why don't you tell us about this track, Kieran?
So this is "The Government Is Bad and Also Watching You," which is just, I feel like every band that was producing gent music in like 2010, 2011, everything was about, Illuminati, like they're real, and Anunnaki aliens are coming to get you.
For fans of Sumerian Records.
Exactly, aye. So from that, I just decided I was going to try and write the biggest HAARP Machine / Rings of Saturn song I could, and this is pretty much the result.
And you'll put your hands up and say,
I cannot play a single thing in this. It's all programmed, and I'm not going to sit and record myself pretending I'm playing the big solo on it, because I'm just not that. I'm just not about that life.
So when I hit play on this and people listen to this, I want you to really objectively listen to this and ask yourself, not like how technical is this, but how do you rate this as a piece of music? Do you enjoy the music? Oh, it does sound like HAARP Machine.
Especially that small wee part there with the drums.
Everything about it. The constant changes in the meter. Constant. And the cartoon. You've almost nailed it.
Just guitar rig.
It's actually probably good that we talk over this, because if we didn't, someone like Al Moomin might steal this and then post a video of them.
LP3, just him.
Does the guitar store have enough money to deal with a legal lawsuit?
I've had enough lawsuits this year, mate. I can't.
I mean, it's only opinion. We're not saying he is not playing that. Do not watch him.
I'll watch it if you want, but just be aware of what you're watching.
Aye, of course, aye. Take it with a pinch of salt.
As Levi put it, don't listen with your eyes.
Yeah.
But it'll get a little bit.
I do feel like, obviously, there is parts of this that are playable.
All of it except the solos really playable. But there are still people who could play it.
Right. It just it takes some time.
Well, you're actually at that kind of level of fame in your career now where you could probably send this track to someone like Jason Richardson and say, hey, learn this.
Go for it.
Cover it.
Well, there is Jared Alonji, who made a whole big satire album and like the styles of other bands, so there's always stuff like that to do.
He does a crop stuff.
That's true, yeah.
The question is Sukov.
mental case.
There's some great people on that. I'll not mention who in case it's meant to be a secret, but some of the...
Sounds like Jason Richardson.
Right, no state.
True.
This exact solo is like me trying to do the solo that he done on the demo, or he done on the demo of Low the Populace, because there is a part where there's just this unbelievably fast sweep out of nowhere.
Is it a synthesizer?
See, I like this
it
part of
is
the
a
track.
guitar.
And we said this when we listened to it earlier, and I turned to you and was like, is that also not real guitar?
No,
Because that passes for me.
A former and
It's like
Well, my favourite... Whoa.
scientist magazine who actually built up New Scientist to great new heights was asked, what is your philosophy at New Scientist? And he said, our philosophy at New Scientist is this. Science is interesting, and if you don't agree, you can fuck off.
Sorry, you were saying?
Science is interesting. Don't like it. Fuck off.
Again, I play on all the bands that were running quotes through their songs at points and spoken word of it, not, and it's always about like freeing your mind and not listening. So I was like, this is the dumbest. If you don't like science, fuck off. Like that's the perfect thing for it.
So ignorant into it. That's what's great about it. Aye, because like everybody was like putting like fucking Carl Sagan quotes in over
Aye,
there, making all that fucking
Like obviously,
strong melody.
I do that now, but it's still something. I even make fun of it, even though I'm the one doing it. Do you know what I mean?
This part of the song reminds me of the end of Selkies, the Emerson Session by Between the Married and Me. You know, it goes from being quite a wild song into this big, beautiful
Aye.
melody-driven, like slow push.
I think every single one of my songs ends up with something like this, like a very clean interlude into a big build up, and then that's it.
And it's fantastic.
There you
So,
go.
there we have it. The government is bad and also watching you.
Available on iTunes.
Sure. Yeah. I assume that isn't on your SoundCloud. No.
No, I don't. I think this is the first ever public playing of it, so
Set.
it could go up on SoundCloud. Because again, it was one of those things when I was practicing, like just practicing programming drums and bass and all that. I sent it to my friends, and they were like, "Is this real guitar?" And then once they started, they're like, "Nah, never mind."
That's it.
Nah, so I might put it up on the SoundCloud.
What
You
would be
should.
really interesting would, as a way of kind of testing your editing chops, you should record the intro to that, just the intro riff, on regular guitar, and see how close you can make it sound like the VST.
That's a good show. And see how long it lasts.
A/B test and see how long. See if people can tell the difference between the two.
I think you could profile the RSE sound into your Kemper.
Oh.
Maybe. Let's profile a synth that's meant to sound like a guitar.
Oh, I've had that Kemper for a long time now, and I've still not even turned profiler mode on.
I feel like if you had to mess around with like a ring modulator or something, you could make a very like close sound to that, like programmed sound, gate it like hell.
You would need to fire like so many compressors and limiters and fucking noise gates.
Imagine
everywhere.
making a tone to make it sound like your guitar's fake. Like to make people go, "Oh, that's definitely fake." And they're like, "Ah, it's real," and they've not got a clue.
The ultimate
It's
deception.
like the swap it run on them.
Would that still count under the same rules? Is that still deceptive? We're pretending it's not a real guitar, but it actually is.
And if I do a playthrough, I just press space on the keyboard and just stand there and just let it play. But in reality, I've actually recorded it all.
What I would thoroughly enjoy is someone miming. You'd never see this. Someone miming a guitar solo on the keyboard, trying to pass it off as a legit keyboard badge they've got. You know what I mean?
Have you seen the video of the guy playing the acoustic guitar in some fucking TV show and there's this ripping electrics all over the top?
yeah.
It's fucking, oh man,
I feel bad for that guy to be honest,
I know.
because he knows
he's upset.
he can clearly play as well. Like he goes for it with classical technique. Like how would I play this if I were to play it on an electric guitar? Good technique and everything, but yeah, just so let's move on to the final subject, and kind of like a big one, and that's home recording.
Yes.
So as of the upload of this this episode of the Guitar Souls, I have posted on my YouTube a video of a walkthrough of my studio, so everyone can see what I use to record. So for anyone who hasn't seen that, essentially, like I have my Kemper and an Apollo Twin, and I use those to record guitars. I'm a big Tune Track fan, so Superior Drummer 3. I use Easy Mix, Tune Track Easy Mix for bass sounds, to be honest, most of the time. And yeah, I'm not great at home production by any stretch of the imagination. I'm trying to improve on that aspect. Studio One user. That's me when it comes to recording. What about you two?
It's all down to
That's
this,
true to
man.
me.
I dabbled with Audacity when I was younger, and I could record a few tracks. I actually put one up on my Ultimate Guitar channel. It was called I Raped Santa. It was quite a good song.
Did you not have a name for that? We had a band name for that. Buckfast Enema. That was the name
Buckfast
for
Enema,
that.
that's right.
Buckfast Enema, there it was.
Kieran and I had a few projects that were not even projects together. It was just like, Kieran, can you program some crazy drums? Aye. Okay, I'm going to write some silly guitar.
Aye.
Right, aye.
Those were the days, man. I forgot about that. I actually forgot about that.
Old school.
I know.
So you're currently not using any recording software, but it's something you're planning to get more into, right?
Well, actually, I have been trying to learn Fruity Loops. I taught myself, or I am in the process of teaching myself video editing. I'm starting to get not too bad at it, but it's nowhere near perfect. I can do some basic multi-edit, camera editing, a couple of effects. I can put images over the top. Like, it's passable. It's not good. It's not great. It's certainly not professional level. It is what it is. But for someone that sat down with a program, read no tutorials, watched no videos, and just fucked about for a couple of weeks, it works.
How tragic is it that right now you and I are sat here and the most talented video editor in the room is Kieran?
That's my fucking life, man. Everything about music's my passion. My brother's better at it than me, and that's the end of it.
I don't think that's not how it works.
That definitely is. That's not the point. We're not here to argue.
Fair play.
Yeah,
Fair
fight later.
Or measure dicks.
I would definitely lose.
But so is recording something that don't bet on it.
That's fucking creepy. I've done a little bit of recording. I'm comfortable using VSTs. I'm comfortable with not comfortable with DAWs, but I can work my way around at least getting a track or two recorded. But my problem is that I get frustrated. They can do so many things that I just can't get the grips of the basics right away. And having been used to when I was younger, been really good at picking stuff up quickly and just doing it. Because I can't do it as quickly now, I get incredibly frustrated and I'm just like, fuck this. Kieran can attest to how many times I've messaged him just saying, I'm never trying to record guitar again. I'm smashing to bits.
Uninstalling it, gone.
Just fucking switch it off, give it an hour, go back to it.
Oh, aye.
And the biggest thing for the moment for me is programming drums. That's the thing I struggle with because I can't do it. I'm not good at it. And it just doesn't make sense to me when I do it. And I get a beat and it's like 4 bars and I go, that sounds fucking great, that's what I want. And then something, whatever it is, just doesn't work. And I'm like, nah, fuck this, off, computer off, switch off at the wall, switch off at the breaker, fucking pull the cable out outside in the street, shout at the wall, fucking just lose my shit.
Leave the house and walk down the street.
And then like, I'll say to Kieran, I wrote these riffs, do you want to come in and like program a wee bit of drums? Aye, no problem. Comes in, within 3 minutes he's played a beat that's like fucking Dave Weckl. Fucking
I think half of it is finding fun in it. Like I'm just because I don't own a drum kit anymore. I find that there's still a wee bit of fun in programming drums.
But I think it's experience as well because you have been doing it that long.
Aye.
And it's been anything from like nice gentle beats to fucking all out fucking 64 notes in the snare.
Like Daft Blast beats.
To the point where the bass drum's that fast it just creates a tone.
Aye.
So what are you using for recording then, Kieran?
So I use FL Studio because I've used it for years and years and I'm that comfortable with it and I see no need to move on to anything yet.
Endorsement.
Police. But other than that, I use a mix of VSTs. I use Addictive Drums sometimes I use Superior Drummer. I bought Get Good drums recently and I've been trying them out. Use Guitar Rig quite a lot for clean tones. And then I've got my pod for just like my distortion and anything else. And then I'll just download hundreds of random VSTs, random instruments, and just play along with them.
You and I used to do it quite a lot more younger as well. Just playing with VSTs and trying and get like good sounds.
Aye, just going for
using
anything.
Amplitude and just thinking this sounds like fucking.
Oh, aye.
I couldn't get my head around it. Not just
Cannot
as a
use
bad
it.
product. I just could not get it. I hated it.
So this world of like home recording is something that everybody, every modern guitar player needs to be not a master of, but proficient enough to get by.
Yep.
If you want to put music out there, unless you are rich beyond belief, and you want to pay someone to do all of your recording for you, and pay someone to mix it, and pay someone to master it, being reasonably proficient on a home recording setup is it's essential. I did A-levels in music technology, so in theory I should be good at recording, but I hated it for the entire 2 years I was doing music technology. And it's something that I'm going back to now, trying to improve my home recording quality. And yeah, it's a scary world out there. This is where I go into the plug side of things, and not plugged in the sense that not paid promotion in any way, but you know, the thing for guys in Mike's position, get on a website like Groove 3, because whatever DAW you're using, they have tutorials on how to work it and how to get everything going in there. I bought a year's membership on there like a few months ago, and I dabble on there. I kind of go on and, you know, see how to get the most out of Superior Drummer and shit like that. But yeah, if you've got no experience in stuff like that, it's a good path to go down, because honestly, I don't think home recording is difficult.
It's not. It's time consuming, and it's knowing how to get the results you want. Yeah. And understanding the limits of what you can do, and finding ways to like overcome your plateaus.
I'm an absolute amateur in the grand scheme of things. Like that's the downside, right? It can be quite intimidating.
Oh, that's part of my frustration, for sure. It's like, I've used Fruity Loops a few times as well, and like, I'm so used to right clicking on things because I'm just a Windows geek that it works. But then you record something and you right click it and then it deletes it, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake! And you put it back on and you forget that you've done that, and you right click it again, and it's like, oh man, it almost gives me anxiety. Like, I get so frustrated with it. I'm just like, no, I need to leave my computer. And like, you'll know from when I tried to fix your computer, when we changed the motherboard and stuff, I don't give up. I get pissed off with computers to the point where I'm like, you're not defeating me. You're not even sentient, you cunt. Like, I spent the last, just a couple of weeks ago, 3 days trying to fix a fucking corrupt Windows registry. That all happened when I changed a fucking cooler in the system. I never touched it with software or anything, and it just died, and I eventually gave up. But like, there's something about recording programs that just, they instantly get me to 100% of raginess, and I'm just like, no, stop.
Yeah, that actually that tells me a lot, because the amount of shit I've seen you go through in fixing PCs, and you always somehow get there. You always find a solution, where I would have set fire to it a long time.
Persevere through straight rage.
Yeah. Oh man,
refuse for you to be better than me. It's probably the best way to do it though.
The case I've got at the moment for my computer is a big stupid thing, man. It's like, it's obviously designed for somebody who's like, get the best of fucking gear inside it, and probably going for a custom water loop, etc. It's fucking huge, man. And more than once I've been tempted to lift it and throw it clean out the window, just when things aren't going right. And like, I've tried and tried and tried to get it fixed, and it doesn't happen. And as I say, recording, for whatever reason, gets me to that point in about a couple of minutes. I'm like, fucking stop it right now.
So Kieran, what's your experience of mixing then? Like, where's that all come from?
Honestly, I've never looked up tutorials or anything. I've just always just done it by myself. That's why everything's so loud. Like, that's why it's pretty, like, I pretty much just start with everything as loud as possible when I'm recording, and then I'll be like, okay, maybe I better tone the drums down, maybe I better bring guitars down a little bit. So as far as mixing is concerned, I don't know. I just wing it half the time.
But I would say that your experience and how long you've been doing it is a big part in it, because you understand dynamics. You might not explain them, but you put them in your music.
Aye. And
I hear it quite a lot, especially when you get things that like proper build-ups. And it's not just like maybe the music build-up in terms of speed or the amount of instruments that are there, but genuinely the volume as well. Like, you do build a lot of dynamic into your music.
Aye.
And that's the kind of thing that I think you either have to be taught and specifically focus on, or you can do it naturally, but not many people can.
I think I just started to learn that way. I like music, like I like soundtracks, so I like stuff that does build up to a point. So I think from listening to soundtracks through the years and stuff like that, I've learned that you need to have that build up, and it just works when it comes to mixing and stuff like that.
I remember you listening to like Enrico Morricone and loads of other people with like Hans Zimmer soundtracks and whatever else, just as themselves.
Aye. Listening on the bus, thinking I'm dead dramatic and stuff like that.
Sad boy.
That's it.
Yeah. So on the mixing front, again, something that I'm working on. And this is certainly not a plug, but this is very much going to be an interesting development over the next year, because I told these two guys, but for anyone else listening, I've just signed up for a year with Ultimate Recording Machine, which is Nail the Mix, their enhanced program. And again, I've only been on there for, I don't know, a week now. It's daunting, very, very daunting.
I think it's because there's like the content's so in depth.
Yeah.
You were telling me there's a couple of videos that are like 8 hours long of someone just sitting doing a full mixing.
Yep.
Like mixing a full project.
Yeah.
That's
mixing
intense.
a song. That's like an 8-hour live stream of them mixing a song and talking you through every single little step. So if you have that sort of inquisitive mind where you want to get really nerdy about stuff like that, that appeals to me. It totally appeals to me to look at how different guys EQ their guitars to get them to sit in the mix, and how they're finding resonant frequencies that are disgusting and they want pulling out. There are things that currently, to me, how do I put this? I know it when I've done it. Like when I can get rid of a horrible resonant frequency on a guitar track, I'll go, yeah, I can hear that now. But I can't hear it before I've removed it.
Yeah. It's like psychoacoustics and obvious flaws in music, like steps that even advanced musicians probably don't know exist when it comes to studio time. Yeah. You'd need someone to show you that happening and show you the before and after before you go, yes, this is what I'm missing.
Yes, and currently, like, to be completely honest, like, there's not a whole lot of that on Nail the Mix. I sat down with the Fast Track program on the EQing program. It's like an hour and a half or so of tutorials on how EQ works and shit like that. And I was hoping for lots of tests like that. You know, here's an example of a guitar track, right? Have a listen to this. See if you can pick out something a frequency that doesn't sound right in that. Now let me show you how we can isolate that frequency, and let me be the difference between it being on and off. There's more of that in the mixing, like the live mixing things, but there could still be room for a product like that on the market because it's huge. It's unbelievable. Like, honestly, there's a couple of mixes of the Guitar Souls theme that I did. One of them, all in easy mix. Everything just cranked as loud as I could possibly have it, and I was like, yeah, this sounds good. And then I sent it over to Jeremy Krull, who did the mix and mastering on the Hellcat album, and he was like, oh, this is disgusting. He didn't know it was mine. I didn't tell him it was mine. He was like, oh, that's a mess. Whose is that? And I was like,
I'm so glad someone has brought you down a peg. Yes! Go yourself, Jeremy.
Oh, when it comes to things like that, like if I don't know a subject well, I'm not ashamed to go to someone that does and say, help. So Jeremy gave me some pointers and I fixed those, and then I sent it over to Martin Miller. He also didn't know it was mine, and he said, yeah, it sounds pretty good. And I was like, it's mine. And I mean, it sounds a lot better than all of your other stuff. So
Martin and his honesty.
Yeah. Point is, like, that heading in the right direction kind of thing. And the aspect of Nail the Mix that I have been incredibly impressed with, to be honest, is they've got a private Facebook group, which you get added to if you remember. Also, like a private messenger chat that I got added to today. So
a community rather than just a program.
Exactly. And that to me is probably going to be the biggest value of something like that. Cool. Finding a community of people that have an active interest, and from reading the comments and shit, people that post in groups like that, like, I am the noob that knows absolutely nothing. Like, I won't say a word. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to be the lurker and just listen to smarter people. But yeah, that's
a nice place to be, though, especially if you're so keen on it, because you'll not only find other people that will come in beneath you, or after you, not beneath you, after you in the same position you've been in, and you can then measure your progress. But you're getting into a program where everybody has something they can help you with.
Yes.
That's an incredible place to
be. Especially with something you're so interested in as well.
Oh, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm so interested in it. I think it's more that I appreciate that it's a necessity.
Right.
In releasing the Hellcat album, I had to crowdfund that, and we did like £4,000 in crowdfunding, and most of that went on mixing and mastering.
Yep.
And I don't feel that I could crowdfund another album. It wouldn't feel right to, because I'm in my career, I'm in a different place now, and like I could reasonably be expected to fund an album, but I certainly wouldn't be able to justify in my own heart like spending that sort of money on mixing again. I did that album on the cheap as humanly possible. The drums didn't cost me a penny. Recording, nothing on the recording cost me anything. It was literally just making CDs, making other merchandise, and mixing and mastering. And like, yeah, it's really expensive, and no one listened to it, which is
that's not true. I've let 2 people hear it, and both of them said, "Who's that?"
Yeah, turn this shit off.
No, genuinely, we plug it pretty much every week accidentally, but it is worth a listen.
We've listened 100%. To it a couple of times when we've drove through Edinburgh and stuff. We've had a couple of tracks on.
So yeah, there's that. All right, let's just do one last because I can see how long we've been talking for, and I can kind of see that we can probably fit in one last little thing because this is going to be stale, and I'm going to have him on the show at some point just to get his perspective on things. But it's a nice opportunity for us to talk about guitars and gear and what gear you're into, and also talk about Andy James leaving ESP and going over to Kiesel, which is interesting. But what guitars are you playing, Kieran?
So I have a Fender Telecaster, which Mike owned. I also have my LTD Stephen Carpenter signature. An acoustic guitar, which Sigma, I think. Don't even know.
That's Sigma.
Aye.
That's right.
So, but I've always been that weird way where I've never paid attention to like what guitar, like what woods and stuff are on a guitar and whatnot, all that stuff.
You're not even a brand snob.
No,
pick something up and if you like
pick
it,
up and play it. Aye. But I think with the guitars I've got the new, it was just because I've not had the money to like go and try everything out and then go, I'll try one of these, try one of that, and I've just stuck with them because they're there. But this eight string, I've got the LTD one. I've played a couple before, but I really enjoy the way this one feels in general. It feels dead, feels heavy, but in a sense, it makes me just feel like I'm playing heavier.
Yeah.
It's weird to explain, but I've never been a big guitar snob and been interested in brands in particular and stuff like that.
That's true.
It's been any guitar I've seen because you had several. I would just pick them up and play them and go, I'll try the other one. I'll try that. Back and forth.
I think about the only brand I haven't owned when it comes to metal guitars is a Jackson, unless you start getting into like properly like Kiesels and stuff.
Think I've ever tried the Jackson. I think I nearly got one, but I think you'd tell me not to a while ago.
If it was a second-hand one, it probably would be asking too much money or not a good model. One of the two.
I think it was both.
So essentially, you're now in that position where gear companies should just desperately be sending you guitars to see if you like them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I will make a meme with your guitar, and if that's not a promise that you would take, I don't know what else I could say.
You're not going to get better marketing in 2018. It's not going to happen.
That's it. Memes of the future.
As
Gibson,
crazy as that
if you want to
sounds,
save yourself, send this man an 8-string. Let's see what happens.
you could single-handedly save that brand.
I think you could. How does that sound?
Just think about it. If they bought out a $300 Kmac signature 8-string Les Paul, Epiphone Les Paul, that would save that company.
I would enjoy that as well. That'd be good.
You would sell 100,000 of them in a year, which is...
That'd be that. They'd be saved. And everyone would own a guitar. Like, I don't know, if I wanted a signature guitar, I would want it to be the ugliest guitar possible. I'd want it to fit my content so much. Like, if I could get them to make it in the shape of my head or something like that, like, sounds so hideous. Or literally the word meme.
Get Perry on the phone. He made that monstrosity for Jared Dines. I'm sure he'd make a guitar in the shape of Kieran's face.
It's very true.
If you pay, Perry will make you what you want.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I'm going to point you at that mayonnaise and say what you really need is that, because that's it's wonderful. That is a nice guitar. And yeah, on the subject of that, like brands and changing brands, I played Vigier for a very long time. I still love my Vigier, but oh my god, I love my mayonnaise, and I just want to play lots of those. And that can put you in quite a dilemma.
I agree.
Not just like ethically, but like honestly, it's like an internal dilemma. It feels like cheating to play a guitar that's different to the one that I've been playing for so many years.
Like you're affiliated with that brand, and not just in the terms of like a business. It's like those guitars are like part of your persona or personality when it comes to guitar stuff, and like your journey so far as a professional musician. To then move to someone else, maybe the best move for you, like personally and in terms of what you're playing, but you might feel like, just what you're talking about, like cheating. It's like you're not showing the loyalty that you have done before, and it's hard sometimes to break that up.
I still feel that I'm going to be buried with that Vigier, my red Vigier. It's just like it's an extension of me. I love that guitar so much. But that mayonnaise, it's really good.
See, with a room like this, I don't think I'd ever be bored of picking a guitar up, playing it for 5 minutes, putting it down, and then going in a circle.
I think you would be Metal's answer to Jacob Collier if you had a studio.
Just go for it and mix it up.
Just saying.
Well, I mean, I think there'd be like a nice sore moment then, fretless solo followed by 8-string breakdown, and it would just repeat itself.
That'd be great.
You've also not walked around the rest of my house, Kieran. This is just a selection of the guitars.
This is true. I've seen part of the staircase.
One's going up the stairs and in my spare room, and
Resonator,
there's shit in the loft.
a couple more Telecasters.
can only imagine it's in the loft. Levi's vault.
I've got a BC Rich Mick Thompson signature up there, the one with hate down the fretboard, not the cheap 12 fret one, because I had one of those I bought one of those when I was like 14, 15.
Last week.
A black one.
Last week.
I don't even know what happened to it. At some point, I must have sold it because I don't own it anymore.
Still got it.
And when I left London, one of my good friends bought me the red one as a present, as a going away present. I went round his house one night and he was like, "I've got this for you." And it was a really hard gift to accept because I was like, look, on the one hand, it's such an amazing gesture and I really appreciate it and I do miss that guitar. On the other hand, I'm really drunk right now. I'm going to crash on your floor and then in the morning I've got to get up with this disgusting guitar in a coffin case. I've got to trek across London. Oh, yeah. I've got to trek across London to my house and then I've got to pack up every single item that I own, put it in a van and drive to Scotland. And currently I don't know if there's going to be room in that van for all of the stuff that I have, let alone this monstrosity of a guitar. So it's been through some journeys, that guitar, and that's one of the monstrosities in my loft.
Wow.
These things happen. When I sold the comparison just recently, I got the comparison case out of the loft, brought it downstairs, and I was like, this case is heavy. And I opened it up and found a telly in there that I forgot I had.
That's
nice.
Crazy.
So that's a nice feeling. I've been lucky, what can I say? But yeah, that feeling of like cheating. So Andy James.
Yes.
Jumping from ESP to Kiesel.
Yes.
What do you think?
I still don't know too much about the subject. I just remember seeing there was rumours that he wasn't happy or whatever else, and then his Instagram post of the two cases, or the two boxes with Kiesel on them. Like, oh, this is quite a development. Especially, I'll say knowing, because I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty certain that Andy James's signature for ESP was one of the best-selling models I've ever had. About the LTD.
I genuinely have no idea on that. I would be surprised, but yeah.
Well, I might be wrong, but I think he done quite well in terms of, or at least that model did quite well in terms of sales for like a signature guitar. I was quite surprised to see it as well, considering, with no offence to Kiesel or ESP, it's like jumping from a big brand to quite a small one.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Kiesel are small or that ESP are like the biggest, but you're going from a very established brand to. But Kiesel's not a new brand. I mean, it's Carvin.
Yeah.
But it's like a new phase of an old business.
Sure.
And it's
a smaller business. There's no way to.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't describe it any other way. That like ESP is one of the biggest guitar manufacturers in the world. So.
Oh, absolutely. Like they've been doing it since God knows when. Like some of the biggest lawsuit guitars you can imagine came from ESP and Edwards. This is the kind of Japanese domestic version of ESP as well. Like our version of LTD, I think.
It's fascinating. The whole thing is fascinating to me, and I'm really looking forward to having Andy on at some point and talking to him about it because, you know, it was only a month ago that I was making a video on my YouTube talking about the new ESP lineup that they'd announced at NAMM, and they announced 2 more Andy James signature models with Evertunes on them, and then like 2 weeks later he's gone. And conversations like that don't just happen. Like that wasn't a spur of the moment thing where he woke up one Wednesday afternoon and went, you know what, I feel like something else here.
No. But that's not just like a business thing. That's again you're talking about the not moral side of it, but like the gut instinct and loyalty side of it.
Yeah, it could be so many reasons as to why it's happened. Honestly, who knows? It could be a case of Andy's signature models were always LTDs, and he's always played LTD when he's been with ESP. Maybe he wanted like a top ESP, and they were like, no, you're an LTD guy. Pure speculation. Could be the case. Might not be the case.
Sure.
Or
I hope it's best business for them both in the long run.
Oh no, it's definitely like this is going to hit ESP pretty hard, I think.
Yeah, but that can only be Andy's betterment, and hopefully ESP take from that whatever the problems they
exactly
didn't overcome.
Yeah,
the next thing that they sort out on their next step. So there's got to be something positive from it.
Ultimately, it could just be like a personal, like a social thing, because like knowing Andy reasonably well and talking about gears and the industry and stuff like that, he never really talks about anyone from ESP by name.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like playing with Kiesel, it's Jeff.
Yes. But I think that's every single member of our endorsee for Kiesel. They all seem to know Jeff because it's such a small company that there's a big personal touch to it.
Exactly.
A big part of it.
Yeah, and that is there's something to be said for that, like that personal touch. Right. Because as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have a signature Kiesel. And that's crazy to me, to jump from a brand where you have like a signature model that people can buy, and then moving over somewhere where, here's just a guitar that we'll make for you. Enjoy. So
That doesn't mean it's not in the
pipeline.
Exactly, yeah, it's not like to come. They might have went, what's your favourite features in a guitar that we could put in a Kiesel for you? Here's 2, play them and see what you like the most, and we'll go from there.
I think it's just Evertune.
Again,
put an Evertune in a guitar, and Andy's like, yep, I'll go for that. I'm a big Evertune fan, as you know, so
I'm looking forward to developments.
More Evertunes in my future. I mean, I don't mind saying it here because nobody's listening to this podcast, so there is an Evertune going in that 8-string, and some videos for that. And oh no, I did mention it in my YouTube video. My custom shop mayonnaise order has an Evertune in it, so yeah, big Evertune fan. So yeah, okay,
And possibly a road trip Guitar Souls video.
Yes, well, it's definitely happening.
Yeah, but we'll keep that hush hush.
Yeah. So lastly, we have to ask Kieran a couple of questions because he had some questions via Facebook and the likes. So one question was, where does P come from?
Now, where's P stored?
Where is P stored?
The balls.
Is it the balls?
The balls.
The balls.
You sure?
It's scientifically proven.
Now the thing is, when you say it's scientifically proven, you had an education in Scotland, so
This is true.
this could be as far as your
Although,
education went.
Ask any memer. Ask any memer. They'll tell you straight away.
Okay.
P stored the balls.
MEMA stands for medical expert. Medical expert.
They're like twice as qualified as your regular medical expert.
And it's like they're basically saying like they're actually more of a medical expert than medical experts. So
No, it's medical expert, moderately experienced. That's
oh
me.
right, sorry, I didn't know
Meme
that.
right there.
There you go. I just get schooled.
Do you mean medical expert with mega experience? Surely.
Nah, we kind of know. We've got a basis.
Okay, so
Monumental education.
P is stored in the balls. Do you like pineapple on your pizzas?
Absolutely fucking not.
I have no son.
The first swear I think I've said, and that's how passionate I am about this. I think that's the most vocal I've been as well.
So when I asked Kieran that earlier, my second question, the follow-up question to that was, but which do you prefer, a pizza or a pizza crunch? And for those that are unfamiliar, because again, this is a Scottish thing, in Scotland, they will batter
Deep
a
fry.
pizza and then deep fry it. And that's known as a pizza crunch. I think they're absolutely vile, but Kieran, I'm not...
What?
I know.
No, you kept that one quiet.
What the fuck are we doing in this house? Get me out of here.
So Kieran, which do you prefer, a pizza or a pizza crunch?
See, there's levels to it. You can't just decide one or the other.
God plan.
Because like I've said, you mostly get pizza crunches from chip shops, and chip shop pizzas are different from pizzas from like the Indians.
Yep.
And you can't get the ones for the Indians.
The rest of the world is thinking, what are you talking
they're
about?
like,
Pizza from an Indian?
fat guy talking about food. What a
Tandoori.
difference? Aye.
Like
Tandoori, aye.
different types of takeaway do different types of food and different styles.
Oh, aye, they all do it in different
if
styles.
you get a pizza in Italy, it's going to be completely different from a pizza you get somewhere in the UK, unless you go to an Italian restaurant. That kind of thing. But because the three main exports or the three main things to do in Scotland are eat takeaways, bet, or go to a tanning salon, and you don't have much options.
You missed it fighting. There's
Fighting
as well.
over football and religion.
That's true.
That's quite
And
important.
how you like your pizza.
But see,
And
that's
what toppings
not
you
a
put in your
thing to
pizza.
do. That's a way to live.
That's a way of life.
That's a lifestyle for us.
The correct answer, by the way, is New York pizza. New York pizza. New York pizza.
No, the correct answer is actually Chicago deep dish. Chicago deep dish, especially good Chicago deep dish.
I mean, there's going to be a fight to the death over this.
And you will die.
I'm uncultured. I don't know any bit. No, just pizza's for anywhere. That's fine.
All right, cool.
I just like Chicago Town microwave pizzas,
I do.
especially the triple cheese ones that smell
See
like
if I
feet.
can ever get a sponsorship. It's from Chicago Town Pizzas before any music brand. Straight away.
Okay, final question and the most important question of all. Why are you such a fucking disappointment?
There you go.
Good
And there we go. So that has been the third episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. Apologies for the 2 weeks off, but hopefully we'll go back to a regular schedule moving forwards. Mike, do you have anything to say to people?
Share this with your friends. Make sure everyone subscribes. If there are any other places you want this to be posted, any other formats you'd like it in, any suggestions at all, feedback whatsoever, please contact us. Add us on Facebook. Make sure you've got just basically links to us in any way. And if there's anything you want to speak to us about, just message us.
And this is more important than ever than now, because this episode will be the final episode that I can upload to SoundCloud before I need to pay for a year of unlimited SoundCloud hosting. So yes, send that message out there, because if there's only 4 people listening to this podcast and then I have to pay for a year of hosting for it, I won't be best pleased. So responsibility is on you. It's not my responsibility to make good content. It's your responsibility to make my content popular. Get it done.
And also, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Kieran, any closing messages?
Subscribe to Kmac2021, please. I really need it. I really need it.
Shut up. You don't need more subscribers.
I need it. Mentally, I need it. Subscriber-wise, I'm all right, but mentally, I need it.
He needs it. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks very much. And we will see you for another episode soon. Bye.